Trish, you are live.
Welcome everybody to another live dive, our fourth to last day of broadcasting of diveLIVE Phase 1 here at Casuarina Point, Grand Cayman. I am Patrick, the Australian, your underwater biologist today. We have the Hungarian Emil on camera, and on the surface we have Scottish Lauren. So today I am at about 14 metres depth, which is 35 to 40 feet down. Now I am probably about 150 metres offshore, so about 500 feet offshore, right in front of Casuarina Point, for our good mates at Don Foster's. So today I'm going to be looking for a nurse shark because it is Shark Week this week, and we want to celebrate by showing you guys at least one shark. But I'm also going to be looking out for this octopus. We've been on the hunt for it for so long now, and we just want to get one before we wrap up our broadcasting. So I'm going to come up now and head over in this direction towards the edge of the reef and go a little bit deeper. And Lauren, do you want to say hello?
Yeah, sure. Hi everyone. As Pat mentioned, it's our fourth last day of broadcasting, so we hope you all enjoy the remaining dives that we have. And the visibility is looking incredible down there, Pat.
Yeah, it's much better than what we had yesterday. So yesterday we probably, well, on my dive I know that I had about 10 metres visibility, which is about just over 30 feet. But today it's probably about 20, maybe even 25, so 75 to 80 feet. But up here we do have a pair of white-spotted filefish just floating about here.
Ooh, our favourite.
Yes, I did spot them when we were just before we were starting the broadcast, and they were hanging out very still, just kind of floating about there. But they have become a little bit more active now. And we do also have a French angelfish here with it as well.
Yeah, so if you have any questions relating to anything you see on the screen, please do send them in to the relevant streams on YouTube and Facebook. And of course, if you are using Twitter, use the hashtag diveLIVE.
So we quite often will observe white-spotted filefish in mating pairs, just like these two here. And they do mate quite frequently during their mating season. And we'll quite often observe one of the fish in the pairs turn on its white spots. So we can't see it right now because they don't have them turned on, but they can make their body almost black with big white splotches on it.
Yeah, some people do wonder why they're called the white-spotted filefish, and it isn't until they turn on their spots that you realise exactly why. So we have Jason asking for some nudibranchs, Pat.
Nudies, oh, yeah, so we'll definitely be keeping an eye out for a nudibranch. We haven't actually gotten a proper nudibranch live. We have seen the sap-sucking slug, or the lettuce sea slug, which is a close relative of the nudibranch, but an actual nudibranch has not been found yet.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of nudies as well, and you do tend to see more of them at night time. But we will do our best. Pat will look out for them. But right now we're getting a really good view of those sharp spines at the back of the filefish's body, actually right on that coral peduncle.
Yes, and I can imagine that these would be quite sharp. I wouldn't want to be putting my fingers anywhere near those tails, as it looks like a pretty formidable defense. And their behaviour right now is kind of strange as well. They're not really doing much, but they're kind of, just drifting almost.
Oh, the white spots are turned on. There you go. That's why it's called the white-spotted filefish.
So they don't really seem to be getting cleaned, and they're certainly not feeding at the moment, but they don't also seem to be really resting either. So what they are doing right now, I'm not too sure.
I'm not too sure either. I don't see any cleaning activity from where I am, but they seem to just be hovering mid-water.
I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that they will start courting. So when white-spotted filefish do undergo courting rituals, they will kind of spiral around one another and make a pretty beautiful encounter, really.
Yeah, and we did mention those sharp spines at the back that we can see, but each scale on the fish's body has a small sharp spine that we're actually not able to see, and this is where the name filefish comes from, because their skin has that sandpapery feel. We're getting a great close-up of this one. It's doing it. It appears to be sort of on its side now.
Yeah, so why they are orientating themselves in this direction, I'm not really sure.
And a few people are commenting on the teeth, and yes, filefish do have really sharp teeth, sharp incisors for breaking off chunks of coral and sponge and little crustaceans.
Alright, well, let's leave these two to kind of float about and head over to our left here. I did just spot an indigo hamlet. I can't seem to see it anymore, but that's alright. Alright, well, let's head out over onto the sand and around a bit and see what we can find. So we are actually at the notorious turtle sponge right now, which a lot of turtles and angelfish like to come along and feed on. It's been very heavily grazed, and we can get a quick shot of it. You can see just how much scar tissue there is on this sponge.
I'd love to see it now.
It's still being demolished.
Yeah, we can see that. But filefish actually are known to eat sponge as well, so maybe these two filefish were having a little nibble before we came along.
Yeah. Looks like just everything seems to want to eat this sponge.
So Noelle has mentioned there was a great question, about nurse sharks on Shark Week. So feel free to share it with us. I am really hoping Pat gets a nurse shark today, since it is Shark Week and we haven't seen one in so long.
Yeah, it's been ages since we've had a nurse shark. So that is why I am heading around the edge of the reef right now, looking in the sandy area that kind of meets up and converges with the reef, because nurse sharks do tend to hang out under ledges. They do sleep, well, not really sleep like we do, but they will rest and tend to sit in the same spot and be quite lazy. So that is why I'm looking around this area.
Yeah, I think we've sighted 2 or 3 on our live dive, but we would love to show you a nurse shark resting on the sandy bottom.
Yeah, so whenever we do spot them, they have been quite active and moving around a bit. So we usually end up using quite a bit of air following them around. And that's usually a fleeting sighting, but if we could get one resting, it would be great.
So Pat, Chat Noir was asking, is there such a thing as kissing fish?
Kissing? Well, sort of. So there are species of wrasse and parrotfish that when they fight, and I think also the Spanish hogfish as well, when they fight, the males, they will actually open their mouths and start kind of gushing into each other, so it does look just like they are kissing. In some courting rituals as well, you will observe species kind of not kissing like me and you do, but they may rub mouths or heads together. So there are affectionate displays.
So just to update, some of you are commenting that Facebook is not working. We are aware of it and we're working on it, so stay with us on the other chat streams. And Vulpine Wolfgirl would like a pufferfish, Pat.
Yeah, sure. I'll definitely keep my eye out for one of them. Hey Lauren, do you know how much cable we have? There is a bommy out here I would like to check out, but yeah, if you could just let me know whether we have any cable left.
I would say you have around 10 meters left.
Alright, well we'll try and get out to this one, because this is one of my favourite bommies here. There's a lot of cool things living on and around it.
Is this where you found the cute little chicken nugget juvenile trunkfish?
Yes, it is. So that is exactly what I wanted to find again as well. So this juvenile trunkfish is a tiny little sphere-shaped fish, literally like a circle. It's got all these little yellow dots on it, and you can't really see its fins, so it just looks like it's hovering there. And we have a barracuda cruising on past.
Yeah, we see that.
So this is a great barracuda, one of the many species, or 30 odd give or take, species of barracuda. And they are one of the largest growing as well. They're pretty
fringe head, and it's called so because it kisses while fighting.
Ah!
So we'll need to look that one up.
Yes, definitely.
So we're getting a close-up view of this bombing.
Yeah, so we're going to really be keeping our eyes peeled, because this bombing is...
Oh, nice.
So, they are quite strange little fish, these arrow blennies. They are hook-shaped at the end, and you can't really see it, but they are furiously beating their fins to keep them moving about. So they don't actually use their tail really in movement, so it does just look like they are floating about in this J shape.
Yeah, it does literally look like it's just floating in the water column.
It actually reminds me a bit of a seahorse or a sea dragon, the way that they also are kind of fixed in one shape, and they do move around again by furiously beating these tiny little fins that we can barely see. So they also do look like they're hovering around a little bit.
And swimming furiously in the background there are some fairy basslets.
Yes, the old fairy basslets. They are pretty beautiful fish, really. The blues, the purples and the yellows on them. And it's quite curious to see them hanging out upside down as well.
The colours are just beautiful. What depth are you at now, Pat?
Yeah, it's looking really nice at the moment. So I am at 12 metres down, so about 38 feet.
We can see a tunicate up ahead.
Ah, do we? So, tunicates are also very interesting creatures. Yeah, so we can see that one there. So, we can tell that this one is a tunicate because we can see that there's holes around its mouth, the sponges. So tunicates are a lot more evolved. Sponges are very primitive animals, whereas tunicates came along a lot later on in evolution, and are actually the closest invertebrate that is related to us humans. So they are in the phylum Chordata. And what this means is Chordata is characterized by having a notochord, which is kind of like a spine. Yeah, kind of like a spine, except it's made of different materials and isn't quite exactly the same. So these tunicates during their larval phase will have this notochord. So during their larval phase they'll kind of look like a small tadpole. and then they will attach and start to metamorphosize into this attached organism that we're seeing now. But unlike sponges, which are they don't have true tissues and organs, tunicates are much more advanced in that they have a circulatory system, a nervous system, they have gills, they have all these different adaptations that make them more like an advanced organism than what they seem. Like, they just seem like an attached sponge. But they do feed the same or similar to what sponges do, in that they have something drawing in water and something expelling water to extract food and nutrients and oxygen out of the water.
So for all of you that are asking, it's spelled Tunicate, tunicate. And Noel was asking, are there spikes in there? Emil got us very close to the hole, to the opening, and it looked like there was spikes inside, but there's not. I believe it's just the markings.
Yeah, could be also little feeding structures as well that can trap the food.
Yeah, it's amazing that that's even an animal, really. I mean, you would just probably swim past that. It's very well.
Cool thing to spot. So we don't really see them too much on the coral reefs. We saw a lot of them in the mangroves when we dived in the mangroves the other day. And they do come in a lot of different forms. So they are called tunicates because they are covered in a little gelatinous tunic, so to speak. So that's where they get their name from.
Pat, we have a comment here from Lizzie saying that a stonefish was just in the shot there. I can't see anything, but can you guys take a closer look in case we may have missed a stonefish?
You're kidding. So, do you know whether she said it was, like near this tunicate?
Lizzie, if you're there and you can direct us, that would be great. I believe it's near the tunicate, but I personally can't see one, but obviously they are the masters of disguise.
So I'm looking around, I can't seem to see.
I can't either, but we can just take our time and keep searching, because that would be one awesome find for diveLIVE.
Yeah, we haven't had a stonefish yet. I don't think I've even seen one here actually in Grand Cayman.
We've been on the tunicate for some time, so I imagine that was what Lizzie was referring to, but I can't see it.
So we'll just wait and see if she can give us a bit more direction and then take a closer look.
Yeah, that would be so awesome. Stonefish are the masters of disguise, and they are incredibly venomous, but they are really beautiful to look at, so it would be quite the find.
Any word?
Yes, I believe maybe. Yeah, there's not a stonefish here.
Okay.
Apologies about that. That would have been so exciting.
Yeah, that would have been great, but oh well. Well, let's head off this bombing and back over to the reef.
It would be great if we could see a turtle today. We seem to be finding a turtle every single day, so it would be awesome to get another one.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, so they do think it is because we are around turtle mating season that we are seeing so many about at the moment.
Yeah, we're not sure why. In our first month here during the beta phase, we were hardly seeing any turtles at all, and I can assure you I was desperately looking for one. And all of a sudden they just seem to be everywhere. Oh, what do we have here, Pat?
Yeah, I've just noticed Emil seems to have found something.
Yes, this looks like a clam of some sort.
Oh, yeah, so I have seen a couple of these in on the hard pan. Yeah, so this is a bivalve. So what a bivalve is something that has two shells enclosing it, just like a clam or a mussel. So they are mollusks, meaning they have a calcium carbonate shell, and they house all of their organs, all of their vital organs and their gills and everything inside these two shells, which really makes them a good defense for any predators. Now, we don't really see it as much on the coral reefs because there are corals here adding to the strong substrate, but quite often large colonies of bivalves, just like clams and mussels, can form reefs themselves. So they've got a really complex structure and they will arrange themselves so that it creates habitat for other fish and other organisms to live in and around. So back home where I come from in South Australia, our mussel reefs are extremely productive ecosystems. So it's not just corals that do form reefs.
Have we moved on from this? I was going to make an identification, but I've lost the oyster.
Yeah, it's very well camouflaged. It does have a lot of algae and other things growing over the top of it.
Okay, I was just going to explain to everyone what exactly they were seeing, because you're right, it was very camouflaged.
Yes, so it was two shells attached to the rock, and it was kind of opening a little bit when we saw it.
I believe it could be the Atlantic thorny oyster. It's very, very, very well camouflaged, and like Pat mentioned, there's two shells, and when it opens you can see the sort of living tissue inside.
Alright, well, let's head over here and have a look at this tilefish hovering just above its nest. So we do talk about tilefish a little bit. Quite often we talk about their nest without them being there. They do seem to be pretty shy critters, and will move away a lot. Although we did see one attack a stingray the other day for being too close to its home. So they do sometimes act a bit brave. But we have one just hovering over its nest right here in the sand. So what I'm referring to when I talk about a tilefish nest is a collection of rubble that sits on the sand that they have actually constructed themselves. So piece by piece, they will grab a bit of coral rubble or broken rock or anything that they can find and bring it back and put it into a nest. Now, this one is actually pretty small, but they can actually build pretty big ones. I've seen ones that have been well over a metre in length, so well over 3 feet.
Yeah, look at all the life that's there. You can see small wrasse, damselfish, all sorts of fish, all using the nest as their home.
Yeah, so it does create quite a complex environment, I suppose, just like the mussel reefs I was speaking about. So any sort of reef formation or aggregation of rocks or anything like that can always create homes for lots of other animals, and this is mostly because they provide little hiding cracks and crevices that they can escape from predators, and in some cases also ambush prey. But it also traps a lot of food and other particles and allows substrate for other animals such as sponges and corals and algae to settle and grow. So it also increases the amount of food available. So generally, more complex environments will lead to higher biodiversity.
Yeah, and look at it just staying stationary above its nest there.
Yes, it's doing a very good job of staying still. Sometimes you will see them retreat into their nests backwards, and they'll just be sticking their heads out, looking out around.
Yeah, this one might be quite brave, because normally if they do get a little bit nervous of human presence, they do normally dart inside their nest.
Yeah, this one is very relaxed.
What size would you say it is, Pat?
Probably about 40 centimetres long, so about 1.5 feet. And we have, I think we have a new species. So Lauren, do you want to get your ID guide out?
It's ready.
Alright, so Emil, see this conch shell? See that blue fish? Just hovering above it? Oh, it's starting off.
I do have one in front of us just now, though, that I don't believe we have identified. It's sort of to the left of the conch shell. Do you want me to try and ID that one as well?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, you'll need to give me some time, so maybe Pat can enlighten us all on this beautiful conch shell while I do the ID.
Yeah, definitely. So, I was just speaking about bivalves. So they are a large grouping of mollusks, but the other large grouping is the gastropods, and the gastropods are the snails. So there can be your sea snails like your periwinkles and these conchs that we have right in front of us. So these giant queen conchs, are huge, so we don't often see gastropod shells this large down here in the ocean, but these are one of the biggest growing. And underneath them and inside the shell is everything that they need to survive. So the shell is actually just secreted by what is called the mantle. And a mantle is a structure that sits on the outside of the shell and is constantly secreting calcium carbonate. Now, underneath it, there is a large foot, and that is what they use for movement. So they will kind of drag themselves and pull themselves along the ocean floor using this foot. They also have 2 eyes on the end of long stalks that they can kind of elongate out and look around. So just like this one on the left is doing right now. You can see it's poking its eyes out and using its little siphon to feel around and look.
And are these 2 conchs fighting, Pat?
No, I don't believe they are. I think they are just in the same place at the same time. There's actually quite a few around here at the moment, and they all seem to be on the move a little bit, so perhaps it's feeding time for them.
Yeah, we're getting a really good close-up of the eye there, just peeking out of the shell.
Yeah, that really is quite cute the way they peek out.
So regarding the fish, Emil went to the conch shell, so I've not actually had a view. There we go, it's right in front of us. Are you able to see the fish I'm talking about, Pat?
Is it the one with the kind of orangey, grainy bars running all down it?
Yes.
Yeah.
What species do you think it is?
Sorry?
What type of fish do you think it is?
Well, I think it may be either a blenny or a razorfish.
Yeah, I was going to go for the green razorfish, but there's lots of different colour forms. They're very polychromatic, and I do believe this one could be the female. The males look really different. So we have actually spoke about this one on diveLIVE before, but never this close. We're getting an awesome shot of this beautiful female green razorfish, which is part of the wrasse family.
And I'm not actually sure why they call them razorfish. Do you know, Lauren?
I do believe it's because of the dorsal fins are quite jaggy and spiky and razor-like, especially on different species. It's not too visible on this particular individual, and I think that's where the name comes from. Is there any other fish hanging about the conchs? Because there is some fish that live in their whole life next to the conch shells, especially some cardinal fish.
Yeah, well, I did see what appeared to be a goby kind of diving in and out from under the shell. Actually, it's just come out now. So I'll move across and see if we can get it.
Gobies are notoriously difficult to identify, but I will do my best.
So can you see that one? It's kind of just darted out. It's been coming in and out from underneath the conch shell this whole time.
Yeah, I can. It's very similar to yesterday's one.
Yeah.
It could be the Sand Canyon goby, but a few gobies are really similar, just a very, very small feature that is different. So if I can get a better look, I'll try and identify it for you. So John has commented that the razorfish are called razorfish because it looks like a barber's razor.
Ah, okay, yeah. Makes sense.
Okay, this one is not staying still for us. Oh, here we go. This might take me some time, Pat.
That's alright.
Okay, it does keep moving, but it looks very similar to the one we saw yesterday, which was the Sand Canyon, but it has some different features. It has quite a unique line going down its eye towards its sort of the edge of its mouth, if you like.
Yes.
And this is a feature of the gold spot goby. So some people suggested that yesterday's one was a gold spot, but it was actually a Sand Canyon goby. I managed to check that out when we got back, but this one looks like it really could be the gold spot.
Ah, okay.
Which is a new one for the species list.
Great. That's on into its nest. And stick its head out. So this is actually the little opening to the nest right here. So it will sit right in here, backwards, orientated with its face poking out, and that is the entrance to its home.
Imagine all the life that is living inside that nest. I'm sure there's an incredible amount that we can't even imagine what is hiding inside of there.
Yeah, it would be harbouring a great biodiversity, I'm sure. So, this is the fish. I found that fish I was trying to point out earlier. I'll see if we can get it on camera. So just in front of us here, it's a little kind of blue fish with little spots along the back of it. Can you see it?
Yes, I can. It looks like this is going to be a new one as well, if I'm able to identify it.
Yeah, I've never seen one like it before.
This is Pat's revenge for me yesterday.
Yes, Lauren was pointing out a lot of small things yesterday that made it difficult, but we love a challenge at the same time.
Okay, I thought it might have been a cardinal fish because there is a fish called the conch fish, which is a cardinal fish, but it always hangs around the conchs. But this one is really out of focus, so I'm not able to get the detail. Okay. What family do you think it belongs to, Pat?
I honestly do not know. I mean, I'm thinking it might be a goby, or maybe perhaps a juvenile cardinal fish. I really don't know this one. This is, quite an interesting little fish.
If anybody watching along has any idea, feel free to let us know. We're all loving expanding this fish species list. It's growing and growing every day. But yeah, we keep going out of focus on this little guy, so it's a little bit tricky. While we're getting a better look, Pat, there is a really interesting comment from Gail.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read it out to you. She's referring to the conch, and she said their eyes can regenerate if lost, as can the penises. She did a study on conchs, and she documented that the eye regenerated over 45 days. How fascinating.
Wow, that is. I didn't actually realise that they could do that. So, yeah, that is a super interesting fact. Thanks for that, Gail.
John suggested a saddled blenny.
Yeah.
What can you give us? I know it's very small, but are you able to give us any sort of size estimate on this fish?
Yeah, probably about 5 centimetres, so 3 inches. I don't think it's a blenny. Its eyes aren't moving independent of one another.
Are we able to sort of get it back up? It's a tricky one. It keeps darting away. It doesn't look like a blenny to me.
Yeah.
This has got us all stuck. As fast as asking what fish is it, well, that's what we're trying to work out. So if anybody has any idea.
Yeah.
P. Hart suggested it's sort of similar to a mud skipper shape.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, it does have that kind of goby-like shape. But that's alright. Let's have a look back later, Lauren, and see if we can identify it. We'll head back onto the reef now and see if we can find some more things. I'll just give you a quick update on my air. So I am at 80 bar, so we've still got a little bit of time. So let's head back on the reef. I'll be keeping my eyes out for a nurse shark. And also, hopefully, we see a turtle.
That would just be awesome. Nurse sharks are around here. They're the sort of couch potatoes of the sea, if you like. They're very lazy during the day, and they normally do just rest and hide in rocks and crevices. They also tend to hide out a little bit shallower as well. And there is rumours around Don Foster's that there's a small juvenile swimming around. So that would be ideal to find a juvenile baby nurse shark.
Oh, wouldn't that be cute? Yes, we have heard stories about it. And they're saying that it's only about, they didn't actually give a proper size, but they've used their hands and they're saying it's about that long.
So we do have a suggestion back to that fish. I know we've left it now, but everyone's very intrigued, and so am I, that it could be a juvenile slippery dip.
Ah, okay.
So I'm just having a little look. That is possible. I'm not entirely sure, but yet the body shape is very similar.
Okay, cool.
That was Love Dog, so thank you for your input.
Oh, remember that cowfish we found yesterday without the tail?
Have you just found it again?
Yep, we found it again.
We should actually give this cowfish a name because it's definitely the same individual. It has quite a severe and easy distinguishable injury.
Yeah. So if you have any suggestions to name this cowfish, we did see it at the end of yesterday's dive. It's both very sad but also a little bit cute as well, the fact that it's missing that tail. It's obviously still able to function as an organism fine. It is surviving. It does look to be a decent size for a cowfish. It's about 35 centimetres long, so you know that's still about 14 inches, and it's obviously able and capable to move around the reef.
And you know what surprises me about this individual is that the two sharp spines at the base of the body and the two sharp spines above the eyes are completely intact. This fish is designed in such a way to deter predators. It's got a really boxy, non-edible skeleton and two sharp spines at the front and the back, but obviously something has injured this animal and managed to take a bite of its tail. Noelle has suggested Belle.
Belle?
Yeah, Belle. I quite like it.
Yeah, alright.
And Karen has suggested Stumpy.
I I like Stumpy.
Yeah, Craig's gone with Stumpy as well. We could call it Stumpy Bell.
Stumpy Bell, yep.
I like it. I really like it.
So, if we go over here, Lauren did point out the other day some bleached acropora, and it looks like it's happening a little bit more. So we are seeing a lot more acropora, which is a staghorn coral, which is a great sign. But these are actually the first signs of coral bleaching, proper actual bleaching, that I have seen here on the reef. So we can see that there is a few segments of this coral, of the staghorn coral, that has gone pure white.
I wonder if this is the same colony that I did come across the other day.
Yeah, perhaps, but I am looking at different, so there is quite a lot of acropora here right now, and there are bleach segments of a lot of different ones, so there must be something in the water that is stressing these colonies out. So when corals are under stress from external environmental factors, they will expel the algae that lives inside them. And what this algae does is it uses sunlight to produce energy, and in return for keeping them safe and protected, the algae will provide the coral with some of this energy to keep them going. So when they do get stressed out, they will expel them, and the algae also gives them their colour. So that's how you can tell when bleaching has occurred, because it will go pure white.
So Spas is asking, would anything eat the bleached corals, Pat?
I don't believe that they would. Algae will quite often colonise it and settle on it, but without the polyps or anything like that, then the coral is really just a skeleton, just a white calcium carbonate skeleton.
So we did have some other suggestions for the Stumpy Bell. We did have one named Rudder from Enid, which is actually a really good idea. I think Stumpy wins though. And we have a funny one from John, so I don't think we can definitely call it that, but that was a great idea. I think Stumpy Bell it is. And a lot of people are wondering what happened to the tail, Pat.
Yeah, well, it's obviously been some sort of attack, whether there has been from a predator or a territorial animal, I'm really not sure. It may have even been, you know, a crab or a lobster. Probably not as likely, but there's no real saying for sure exactly what could have attacked it, but yeah, I do think it has been nipped by something.
But it's obviously not affecting its swimming ability, and to be honest, these box fish, especially the cowfish and the trunkfish, they're not really known to have great swimming ability anyway because of this boxy skeleton, so they tend to stay very close to the top of the reef and just sort of hover along looking a little bit awkward. Now Pat, that fish could have been a juvenile Creole wrasse.
A juvenile Creole wrasse?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So we're not sure yet, we will confirm, but now that I can see Creole wrasse ahead of us, it definitely could have been one of the juveniles.
Yeah, right. Well, it's definitely something to investigate. So, this would be nice for a bit of a comparison. We do have another cowfish up here, and this one has a full tail. So this will just be, or perhaps no, maybe this isn't. Oh no, yeah, there is a cowfish. So just for a nice little comparison between the one with and the one without the tail.
Oh, there we go. It has a beautiful long tail there. And we know they're a cowfish because of the spines on top of their heads. And Betty, just to confirm, cowfish are part of the larger boxfish family. So in general, they are all box fishes, which you can tell from their skeleton, and cowfish are a part of that.
So So over to our left here, we have a pair of spot-fin butterfly fish. So we haven't actually spoken about butterfly fish for quite some time. So we do observe butterfly fish very often in pairs. And these are mating pairs. Whether or not they are monogamous is another question, but we do know that these mating pairs will mate with each other quite a lot. And they'll also scour the reefs in search of food. Now we can see that these butterfly fish do have a long pointed snout to come up and pluck away at other corals. But corals aren't the only food they eat. They do have a pretty general diet and will eat pretty much whatever they can get their mouths on.
Yeah, it has been a while since we've pointed out butterfly fish, and as Pat mentioned, they do always travel around in a mated pair with the beautiful idea that they are monogamous, but there is some studies that do show the males are a little bit naughty and do sneak off to mate with other females. But generally, they do hang around together on the reefs to feed and mate.
Now, we can tell that they are the spot-fin butterfly fish because of a tiny black spot towards the rear of their ventral fin. Sorry, their dorsal fin. We can see that that damselfish did not like them coming near its area.
They never do. They never like anything approaching. They're always on guard. They even tell divers to go away and will come up and start a fight if you get too close. You just saw that butterfly fish eat something, Pat.
Oh, really? Ah, I missed that. Did you see what it was?
No, I didn't, but I imagine it'd be a little piece of coral. And Proud Cat Mum was asking, what are the predators of butterfly fish?
I don't actually know their direct predators, but I could assume it would be larger predatory fish like groupers, barracudas, perhaps sharks, and I don't know, I doubt tarpon would eat them. But yeah, it would be a larger predatory fish. They may even, I'm not sure, but I know a lot of animals that eat corals actually do, especially gorgonians, do absorb some of the toxins and use them as their own defense. So whether this happens in butterfly fish, I don't know. I will look into that, but it may potentially be a deterrent.
Yeah, I'm sure they will have numerous predators. That's how it works in the giant food web, and it's sort of always the bigger fish preying on the smaller fish.
So, I have hit 50 bar. It is time to wrap up the dive. But thank you all for joining me again today. It was another enjoyable, fun little dive. So, we will have Lauren back with you under the water at 11 AM Grand Cayman time. Now, just before I say goodbye, I do want to remind everyone that this is our very last week of broadcasting. So, this is our fourth to last day, and we will be wrapping up phase 1 on the 28th of July. This Saturday, we will have a very special boat day, and we'll do some great dives for you. So, that's been the reason that this has been such a great success. So, phase 2 is in the works. We aren't 100% certain on on where or when this will be, but it will be coming towards you. So watch this space. Thank you all. Thank you, Emil, and thank you, Lauren.
Thank you, Pat, and thank you, diveLIVE family. It is because of you that phase 1 was such a great success. I will see you underwater at 11.